super salmon on the menu in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen this morning, but just about everything else is Chef Robert. So, Liza, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're going to have breakfast this morning. We're excited about the asparagus souffle, but because the cheesecake needs to bake, you want to start with that.
Start with that first. Getting ready for the holiday, you know, we're going to go ahead and make the pumpkin cheesecake, and then we started out with the 3 pounds of cream cheese that we put in, and I started to whip it to get it going. What I'm going to add in next is the 1.5 cups of sugar.
You've got everything so nicely neat and organized. We'll put the ingredients online at thehamptonroadshow.com.
We let that mix in. Now, the eggs, of course, you drop them in a little bit at a time. Don't put them in all at once. You know, you want to try to get that incorporated.
Okay.
You like that word, incorporated?
I do.
I love that word.
I really do. That's big for a Marine. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. These are just jokes.
Joking. In goes the vanilla now. Okay.
Now, what kind of pumpkin are you using? Because I know that there's a difference
Regular
between the pie filling and the
pie filling.
Pie filling.
Pie filling, yep. You can just get a small can.
Drain it or strain it? Because can it be watery?
No, this isn't, because it's condensed. It's all concentrated together.
Okay.
This came right out of the can.
All right, so make sure you get the pie filling.
Yes, pie filling.
Okay.
And let that mix up for a while.
Off it goes?
Off it goes.
Did you do anything to soften the cream cheese, or you just...
Just mix it in when I started, you know, because it came in a 3-pound block. So you put that in.
And again, you're not dumping everything in all at once, just kind of spooning it in so it can blend evenly.
Yes. Then I'm going to let that just continue for a few minutes. Then we'll put the flour in to thicken it up, to bring it to the consistency that I want. We'll put it in a pan, and then we'll take it into the oven in a water bath.
And some, is that
cinnamon? Will be on top for the garnish after we're done.
And is the butter going in now?
No, the butter was to grease the bottom of the pan. You're learning. You know, by the time we're done, you'll have to make it yourself. I know what you're doing. You're going to go to Massachusetts, and you're going to make one and say, look what I did.
All right. Wow,
Didn't say the chef did it, but...
I'll tell my dad. A Marine taught me how to do this. So he was a Marine, too. Have I told you that? My dad was a Marine.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys have that in common.
That was something good.
And I went Navy, but he still loves me.
Yeah, he says so. You know, I know dads don't lie, so I won't say that. You know, I have 3 cousins in Italy. We're back in Italy again, and they go hiking, they go camping, they do all. So they want to go on a hike, and they went up these mountains, and there was this big rapids river, and they couldn't get across. You know, so they said, "How are we going to get across?" So you're going to love this joke.
I hope so.
Wait till they get to the end. So he says, "Well, I'm going to pray." So he said, "God, give me the strength to get across this water." All of a sudden, his arms blew up, and he swam across. It took him about 5 hours, but he got on the other side. Not a problem. Next one says, well, if it worked for you, I'm going to try it. So he says, God, give me the strength and the equipment to get across. So the arms blew up, and here's a boat. He goes across about 3 hours. So the third one says, well, it's working for you all. I'm going to try it. So he goes ahead and says, God, give me the strength, the equipment, and the intelligence. All of a sudden, he turns into a woman. I told you, you'd like that.
I do like that one.
He turns into a woman.
I thought you were going to say he turned into a genetically altered salmon and swam right up river.
So she now looked in her purse. She found a map. She looked at the map, walked down the river a little bit, took a left over the bridge, and she was there in 5 minutes.
It got even better.
So I just figured you'd like that one.
You get a lot of cousins in Italy. Big
the whole family's there, yeah.
Lots of stories. All right, so once this is all mixed up and incorporated, you're going to put it in this pan. And I remember there was something special that you did here to keep it from sticking to the sides. You've got your parchment paper down on the bottom.
Put the butter in.
And you're going to bake. Do you put a little bit of water in this bigger one?
Fill it right up to where it's almost to the top of the pan.
Hey, John, can we show this contraption that Chef Salazar has put together? Yeah, it's like one baking pan inside another. You're going to put a little bit of water here, so it's
like a water bath,
right?
The reason why we do that is so once the water boils, it'll be an even temperature all the way across. If you put something in the oven and it has a fan, the top and the bottom will cook, but the middle won't.
Okay.
So that's why you never cook anything with a fan on.
All right, good tip. We've got our oven preheating at 350. When we come back, the cheesecake's going to be in the oven, and we're going to move on to our omelet. Right now, we're going to move on to Cheryl and Lori. All right, we're back in our Hampton Roadshow kitchen with the executive master chef of City Dock Restaurant, Robert. So Liz is here. The pumpkin cheesecake is in the oven already. And while we were doing other things, you went ahead and you made one of your asparagus souffles. Now we're going to go to the time machine here and go back to the beginning so you can show us how to make one that looks as beautiful as that.
Okay, what I did first start is I went ahead and made the sauce that we're going to use for it. It's a Boursin cheese sauce. And that's just the Boursin cheese, the heavy whipping cream, salt and pepper, and parsley. And you bring it to a simmer and just let it sit, and it'll thicken by itself with the cheese.
And you said the Boursin cheese, it's in the blue cheese family?
It's in the blue cheese family, Asiago the blue cheese, Boursin cheese, are all about the same. This one here, of course, is a little bit softer.
Okay, so a little more mild.
Mild,
than the blue
yeah,
cheese.
but
Okay.
that's good for sauces.
Sure.
It's really good for sauces.
Okay.
What I've done is I've already gone ahead and put the olive oil, garlic, and a little bit of butter, because with butter it'll give you a different temperature to cook with. It'll get to a higher temperature. Got the garlic in.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and put the green onions in. What I'm trying to do is get a nice color as we're cooking. And, you know, the appearance of what we're eating is half the battle how it tastes.
You're
right?
making the babies cry.
Yes. Well, it's probably the smell. They probably want some. That's probably...
They're
you know,
probably hungry, I know.
probably
Now,
into it.
So this isn't, you know, an omelet the way people think of an omelet being all folded over with the good stuff on the inside. Is this more like a frittata?
Yeah, but you'll cut it like a pie.
Like a pie.
Like
Okay.
a pie. We get that simmering and going, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the asparagus, which I blanched first.
I was going to say that looks like it's been cooked just a little bit.
Just a little bit that like it should be.
Okay. So this is kind of healthy looking.
It is. It's a very good meal. It can be used for breakfast, lunch, can be used for a holiday meal as a side for a dish.
I said the same thing about the cheesecake. Breakfast, lunch, you know,
Yeah,
dinner,
you can, I guess.
dessert, I suppose.
Dessert. And then you cover it, all the egg right up to cover whatever's inside, and then you're just going to go ahead and leave it now.
Okay.
And just let it sit there and let it start cooking. And then once it gets to a point where I can touch it and see how it's pulling away from the side, I'll flip it over with the plate, and I'll do that in the next segment. So just in case we drop one on the floor, nobody will see it.
Let's not drop one
and
on the
you'll be
floor
able to
today.
stand over it. So
Now wait a second. When you flip it over onto the plate, is it going to be done?
no,
Or
you
you
have to
need
cook the
to
other side. There's two sides.
Flip it over and put it back in the...
Put it back in the pan. That's why I got a plate
This
here.
is going to be something to
This
see.
will be something to see. Yes.
All right. This is going to be something that I think I'm going to watch and let you handle when we come back. Right now, Cheryl's with our students. All right. It is time for Chef Robert's big move, the flip of the asparagus souffle. You said you need a plate because it's so thick, it's not going to cook all the way through.
And
So
then
you
you
put on the-
slide it right back into the pan. And you do side two.
Wow, all right.
Nice, Chef.
Now, did you
There it is.
spray the
Nothing.
plate or anything to
Nope.
make it slide right off, or it's
Nope.
just going to do that?
It'll do it by itself.
All right, and then it will be finished. Joshua Ha is back to make a wonderful drink for us for our fall. You said it's kind of tough to pair asparagus with wine.
It is. It's a very tough pairing, I think. But I did find one,
Okay.
and it's the Williamsburg Winery.
Local?
Local, yes, exactly. The Governor's White, which is a semi-dry, very well-balanced wine that I think can stand up to Chef Souffle.
right.
Like Chef said, you can have the souffle at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, so this wine's going to go well with it.
All right, now what's going on in here?
Well, with the pumpkin pie and fall coming, I thought we could do a great mulled cider today. So basically, start out with a couple quarts of the fresh pressed sweet cider, half teaspoon of the nutmeg, put in a few cinnamon sticks, 4 would be great, and a bay leaf.
And this is the kind of thing that will make the whole house smell good.
Exactly. Fire it up before you start to entertain people.
Some brown sugar?
Yep, quarter
Is that
cup
what
of
we
brown
need?
sugar, and some lemon slices. And I put the capers right in it. Makes it easier to strain later.
Okay. So how long does this need to does it just pretty much need to heat together?
Yep, you bring it to a boil, and then you stir it a little bit, and then you knock it down to a simmer, let it go for about a half hour.
All right.
But it'll last longer. Like I said, start it before your guests come over, and your house is going to smell fantastic.
We're out of time, but if you then want to make it a little stronger, you get the apple brandy to go
Add
with
some
that
Calvados apple brandy.
too. Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Joshua, Robert.
Thank
We're
you.
going to try it all when we come back.